Welcome, everyone. We have the McFarlane DC Superpowers Bat Multicraft, along with a exclusive Batman and Robin. This set was part of a special crowd fund that McFarlane did, and there were multiple tiers. This was one of them. You could get the Multicraft by itself, you could get the Multicraft and the figures. There was also a Black Manta Sea Saucer. I opted not to get that, but that was another tier, another product offering. And for me, just being big into just Batman stuff in general, like most people are, really wanted to get this and be able to check it out and show it to you guys. So if you back this, you probably got this recently, or it may be en route to you. Along with these, they came with some little postcards. So first postcard has, kind of like a blueprint of the Multicraft. On the other side, it's got the Sea Saucer. And then they also provided a digital code. And I am not into these NFTs. I don't know. This is just not for me. But there could be people that really are excited about these sort of things. So if you backed it, you're going to get a digital figure too. So going over the Batcraft, this is done up in the Superpowers line look. You get, some pretty cool artwork on the front. Same artwork on the top, just a little different color. On the bottom, there is a UPC, although you're not going to buy this in a store. And there is some assembly instructions, pretty straightforward. There we have the side. And the other side, just a tad bit different. And then on the back, a little bit of explanation on some of the things that you can do with the Batcraft. For the figures, pretty standard Superpowers figures. These are meant to be representations of the 70s figures. Both of these molds we've gotten already. And technically, this is like the wrong Robin. His hair shouldn't be spiky like this. It should be laying flat like that. But it's just a recolor. It's still cool. And on the back, you still get the, kind of like the Kenner style roster of all the characters, with the crowdfund characters being 53, 54, and 55. And there's the Sea Saucer, for those who are interested. Oh, and then I'm just noticing there's a little sticker here that says Batman Crowdfund. So maybe they'll sell this later by itself and they want to differentiate the release. I don't know. But interesting that they put that on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get all this out of the package. So we'll start off with putting together the Multicraft. All of these pieces were in separate little bags, and it looks like this is pretty straightforward. You need to make sure that you line things up, but for the most part, you're just gonna plug everything in. Oh, I pushed the back fin down and these popped out. So that is a trigger. Oh no, actually press this with my finger. We'll talk about that in a moment. So all of these stickers Well, this is a sticker. It's hard to tell what this is. This might be Tampo. It feels chalky, but there's no edge on it. All these are pre-applied. There are cockpit stickers also. The seats don't really move, but there's a lot of room in there. It's a pretty basic design, the way it's implemented. And as you saw, there is a play feature. Press down on that, and these basically jet engine blasts come out, and then you can use this lever to reset the blast effect. So that's pretty cool. And then the Batman and Robin, I believe we've gotten these sculpts before. So here's a Robin that this figure is based off of. You know, this is more the 90s look and the 90s hair. And then for Batman, this is the only other one that I have in this particular style. But basically this is the classic build. And then there's been a bunch of these, I'm gonna call this the Dark Knight build because he is bulky like the Dark Knight graphic novel. So just showing that to let you see how different those are. And because they've got these nice cloth capes, oh, there's a little button there. We'll talk about that in a moment. You can easily place them inside. Again, it's very roomy in these seats, so you don't really have to mess around too much. The only thing is like getting the capes to get in there and not get bunched up, if you care. But there's plenty of room. Just kind of slide them in there, almost lay in there, and then you can close it up, and then you've got your figures. And I didn't notice this at first, but there is a button to release the cockpit. This is pretty cool. I don't know if this was released before. Something's making me think this was a Superman vehicle before, or if this is a new vehicle altogether. But it is a cool design. Like, of all the things it can do, like, whoever thought, you know, you'd have like a, what is this, like the G.I. Joe Sky Shark? You know, this thing's supposed to be able to fly through the air, it's supposed to be able to go through the water. You know, it's a pretty cool design. And then to compare it with another modern superpowers vehicle, here's the Batwing. And looks like there was some tape here. Anyway, much more substantial. You know, you got a two-seater. You got some, actually two separate action features on this. This guy, actually he does have one little action feature with the little pinchers in the front. So that seems to be one thing they, you know, include with all the superpowered vehicles, you know, some sort of action feature. But this thing I think was like $20, and I think this is kind of the equivalent of a $30, you know, if this was retail, this would be a $30 vehicle. If you back the crowdfund in this specific offering, you have a chance to own this. Big question of this is if this is going to be offered in any other form. I don't know. I would be personally fine if they offered this for direct sale. I'm not one of those people that are like, you know, crowdfund should only be sold to the original backers and, you know, nobody else deserves to own them. I don't feel that way. If Hasbro wanted to re-release any of their HasLab, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Matter of fact, there's quite a few that I missed out on that I'd love the opportunity to purchase again. And as a backer who owns a lot of crowdfunded stuff, again, I'd be totally fine if they re-released it. So, they could re-release. Let's say they don't release this specific version, they could release this mode in different colors. There's all kinds of clever things that they could do. So, plus, if you're really in need and didn't back it, I'm sure these are available on eBay. I can't imagine what the prices would be, and I try not to get into buying from scalpers, but you've got some options there too. So overall, great vehicle. I don't know why they crowdfunded this. Maybe the last superpowered vehicle sales didn't do well. But one thing I would really like is if they went back and re-released like the original Batmobile from the 80s line. That would be one thing I wish that they would produce. I'm sure they don't have the original molds. If they did, great. If not, spend a little money and recreate the Batmobile and offer it up. That would be a hit. So let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. And as always, tune into more videos coming up. Thank you.